And what's up, everybody? And this is Danny taking a look at the Oppo Find 5 Midnight Edition. And this is a 32 gigabyte version that is minted in new color, and it was only available in white before. But if you're not familiar with the Oppo Find 5, I'm going to go over some of the specs right now. The Oppo Find 5 comes with a 5-inch full 1080p display. It comes unlocked with a pentaband 3G radio for T-Mobile and AT&T 3G use in the United States, a 13 megapixel camera, 1.9 megapixel front camera, and it is 165 grams and is very thin. This 32 gigabyte model is available for $569 on OppoStyle.com, and it is still available in the 16 gigabyte flavor for $499 unlocked. The Midnight Edition definitely comes in that nice box. It is etched out, you can see, with some pattern, and it has a magnetic latch and is very high end for a smartphone of this caliber and price. So let's go ahead and open it up and see if anything has changed since the white model has come out, and check out my unboxing and first look of the white edition as well on my channel. In the package also comes with a screen protector because this phone comes in a bigger package when you get it shipped. So here is the Midnight Edition because this is the black edition compared to the white. And let's go ahead and set this aside and see what else comes in the box. You are first greeted with a packet here, and inside you will find the awesome SIM removal tool that is Oppo flavored. And you also get some NFC tags, and you get the information guide for everything you need to know about the Oppo and specs and operation. Some headphones here, and you also get a standard micro USB to USB cable for connectivity and syncing. And here is an Oppo US plug for the US market, and this is the international version. So let's go ahead and peel the sticker off the front, and let's go ahead and get started. And here is the white version, which I've given the full review treatment. So check that out on my channel. Subscribe today and take a look at that, where I go over the hardware, software, and everything else you need to know about the Oppo Find 5. This pretty much is the exact same phone that comes in a black matte finish, and it is available in 32 gigabyte, and that's very important because it does not have an SD card slot. So for people that are looking for more storage, this is the option. So let's take a look at these two versions and see if anything has changed in hardware or software upon unboxing. There are a few things that I've noticed that are different, but the most obvious one for me was the capacitive buttons on the bottom, where the white one was very stealth. You can barely see it and it was not etched. But these are much brighter, and you can see them in daylight much better than the white version. And let me show you in comparison here. And you can see right there that they're both on inside, and you can definitely make out the black version no problem, where you can see here in the white it's barely noticeable. Even though you still can use them very well in the white version, these are much improved to me, and you can definitely see it much better. And here is that white one again, and for the stealth effect, it's pretty cool on this white one because it just looks like one big slab of glass, and when it goes away, it definitely goes away, and it's all preference here really. But I actually prefer the black version, where you can actually see the capacitive buttons much easier, and they are much brighter. So I'm not sure if that's a firmware thing or a hardware thing, but I'm betting it's a hardware thing, and I definitely like the black one a little bit better. And I'm happy to report that the antenna gate issue that was on my review for the batch 1, which was my white 16 gigabyte, has been fixed in this version. So definitely I'm not getting that signal loss, so they must have fixed it in the hardware and the second batch and above. So no problem there, go ahead and go for it. But you can see these nice shots of the white and black. It definitely depends on preference, but the black one looks really good. Looks better than I thought. I'm a fan of white phones, but this black phone is very sleek and it looks really nice. So I think you'll really like it in person. Design-wise, the Oppo Find 5 is a nice looking phone anyway, so the black definitely accentuates that, and you will not be disappointed in the black color at all. So enough about the hardware. Let's go into it a little bit further and take a look at the software a little bit and how it compares to other flagships today, such as the HTC One, Samsung Galaxy S4, and the Xperia Z. So you can see here that this is the same awesome gorgeous 5-inch IPS display that you saw on the first version, and you can see how good the viewing angles are and how good the contrast is. This is definitely by far one of the best screens on the market today, and you will not be disappointed in this screen. And you can see here the steel frame construction is still there. It feels extremely solid. So I think this is the first phone that's been constructed of a steel frame. And you can see the 13 megapixel camera sensor right there with dual LED flash. And it just feels so good in the hand. The black version, though, you can see does pick up some fingerprints compared to the white version, but that's just natural. That's mostly black phones do that. And there's the speaker there, and you can still see that it carries that thin frame and profile. But if you're not familiar with the Oppo Find 5, then you will see it has a different skin version of Android, and it definitely looks different than any other phone that comes in the US market or is available internationally. And you can see it's running 4.1.1 here, Android Jelly Bean, and hopefully this will be updated to 4.2. Project Firefly is around the corner. It's being tested right now with a different UI, and I think it may come with Android 4.2 when it is released, but we're not quite sure. But I'd bet on 4.2 because they update this phone all the time. So I'm definitely looking forward to Project Firefly coming out to the masses, and I think it'll be very, very good for a lot of people, and especially people that own this phone, because software updates are a huge deal in your experience after you own a handset, because a lot of handsets do not get updates anymore, and it's not the case with Oppo. So don't worry about getting this phone, for you will get constant updates and Project Fireflies around the corner to give you a new experience. So here, the 4.1 version now still offers some cool tweaks, and you can see here that the wallpapers, widgets, and things are all on the bottom, and you can see those live going on, and the UI is pretty snappy on this version as well. There's a few little lags here and there, but it definitely performs well with that quad-core S4 Pro processor and the Adreno 320 graphics. It definitely is a performer. So here you can see Oppo Skin, where it kind of looks like the iPhone a little bit more colorful, but you can see there's really good shortcuts up here, toggles, and the settings here are tabbed out, and that looks really nice as well. And definitely the software enhancements can definitely go head to head with a lot of the larger manufacturers out there. So make sure you check out my full review, and I go over a lot of the software features. So here is the very good 13 megapixel camera. It can shoot 1080p HDR video as well. Very fast shutter, and you will like this camera. It shoots good, clean video and takes very crisp shots as well. So as I promised earlier in this video, let's go ahead and stack the Oppo Find 5 Midnight Edition versus the large competition that is out there. And here is the HTC One, which is getting all kinds of praise for its build quality, and it is an amazing phone. But you can see it stacks up very, very close to the Oppo Find 5 here. They're pretty much the same in thickness, besides that the one has a curved back, so it seems a little bit slimmer in the hand. And so does the Oppo. It has a curved back to it as well. But you can see there are two different materials. The HTC has a metal build quality, where the Oppo has polycarbonate matte finish. So they both feel really premium in the hand, but the HTC, I'm not sure if anything can beat this phone on build quality, but it is amazing. They're both very good. But you can see they both have 1080p displays, and they're both very good. Very high contrast, really, really sharp. But the HTC One does have a higher pixel density because of the smaller screen, and that makes things look a little sharper. You really can't see the difference very much, but I think there's a slight edge to the HTC One on the screen. But the Oppo can definitely go head to head. So let's take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S4, which also comes with a 5-inch 1080p display. So they're a little bit more comparable here. And you can see that the squared off edges on the Galaxy S4 looks pretty close to the Oppo. And on thinness, I think the S4 takes it a little bit. It's a little bit thinner. And they both have 13 megapixel camera sensors. And I will definitely be doing a separate video on this, where I will take the Samsung Galaxy S4 camera and the Oppo Find 5 camera and test them together. Now, the advantage that the S4 has versus pretty much all the flagships today is it has a removable battery, and it has an SD card slot. That's pretty much a dying breed in the Android world today because it's kind of following the iPhone, where design and slimness and clean lines is superseding the removable back with a removable battery. But you can see here that the Samsung Galaxy S4 carries a Super AMOLED Plus display, which is two different types of screen technologies. And if you look here, it looks like the S4 has the brightest screen out of all three of these flagships. That's pretty interesting, for most Super AMOLED screens aren't that bright, so they definitely up the ante on this screen on the Galaxy S4. It looks very good, by the way. The S4 screen definitely took me by surprise, and it is a very good screen, and look for my full review on that very soon. But you can see here that the Xperia Z matches up very well with the Oppo Find 5. Watch my full Oppo Find 5 versus Xperia Z video, for they stack up very, very well with each other. They have the same kind of internals, but different build qualities here, as you can see, glass versus polycarbonate. But I think that the Oppo definitely takes the cake for the better phone out of the two, but the Xperia Z definitely has a win here for easy expansion with that micro SD card slot and waterproof abilities. So what do you guys think of the Oppo Find 5 versus all of these flagships out there? I still think it's a very good option. It still carries really, really good specs, and it carries a beautiful screen, and it still carries that 13 megapixel camera. And if you look at build quality and design, you can see it stacks up very well, even versus these new flagships. Even though it doesn't have the Snapdragon 600 processor, and it doesn't have the fancy technology and Android 4.2 like the S4, it still can hold up very well. It is also an awesome prepaid option here in the US, but this prepaid king called the Nexus 4, which has the same internals, might be the winner since it costs only $299 for the 8GB version. So what do you guys think of the Oppo Find 5 Midnight Edition with 32GB? I think it's still a good option for flagships out there today. So please subscribe to my channel, and for more coverage and for a lot more videos, check out my full reviews of these devices that I've shown here, and follow me on Twitter at SuperScientific.